TJ 3 rounds and Dominick 2. I was very impressed with how hard Dominick was to hit. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, great defense, great movement.
I mean, amazing.
The first round's a toss-up. I could see that scoring the judge either way. That round one's it was tough. 2, 3 dominated by Dominick Cruz. Takedowns, I think he had 3 or 4 takedowns in between those rounds.
Those takedowns were like the deciding factor.
Exactly.
He took him down 3 times.
You said
I can't remember whether it was the third.
the fourth and fifth.
That's what I gave him.
The fifth was definitely TJ. So 2, 3 Dom, 4 I'd have to rewatch. It's that first round, depending how they scored it, and the fourth round. But 2, 3 very clear Dominick. Fifth very clear TJ.
Yeah.
So 1 and 4 is the deciding factor here.
But you have to take into account that TJ did get taken down 3 times. His ability to stand right up is incredible, and I think you told me that Leister Bowling said he's the best he's ever seen in the world at that. But he still got taken down, and
I think it's
the first time he's been taken down, right? In the UFC, and that's crazy. So that has to count for a lot.
Well, yeah, that's why you give him rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah, and then I don't know, I don't see and know boxing well enough and striking. I don't have an eye for it where I can tell who's really connecting. But having said that, it was so close in that regard. It was so hard to see who was really getting the best of the other person with strikes and what strikes were actually making.
Well, if we go based off the way UFC judges are fight, off octagon control, aggressiveness, right? You would have to give TJ the close rounds. Like that first round, TJ was moving forward. Yes. That would be considered octagon control. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying if we're going based off the current ruling, that if it's close, if a guy's being the aggressor and he's the one moving forward and the other guy's a counter striker moving a ton, even though he's making a miss, you're usually going to side with the guy who's moving forward and who's the aggressor.
Having
so that first round's tough. Like they obviously scored it for Dominick. Most of them scored for Dominick.
For me, it's one thing to hit somebody. To me, it's so impressive if somebody can take a great fighter like TJ and make him miss that often. I mean, that's just so incredible to me.
TJ made him miss a lot, and he made TJ miss a lot. It was amazing.
Yes, it was an incredible fight. And it is one of those fights you could watch 3 times. I would just like to study. Like at one point when I was watching him, I was only looking at Dominick's feet. Yeah. And what he's doing with his feet. Like, I don't know how and for that matter, TJ too, but that is do you think that watching Dominick and watching TJ and the way they were able to elude those shots, is that a style that is going to be copied by larger guys? Or does it? Why not?
No. That's definitely a small man thing.
Why is that?
Because it's that footwork and that athleticism is just small guys.
So it favors.
It's like you're never gonna see a heavyweight move like Demetrius Johnson and put it all together like Demetrius. There's no way. It's just not gonna happen.
But even his angles and his ability to be out of the range using footwork, it wouldn't be relevant. Wouldn't be relevant. Somebody big.
Tough.
That was
tough. They just don't have the footwork. If anyone did, it'd be Mitrione. We didn't see it.
Did Dominick invent that footwork? Is that kind of his invention?
Mm-hmm. He was the first we've really seen it from. Then TJ kind of took it another level, and then Dom took it another level.
It's incredible.
Last night.
Yeah. It
Close
really
fight though, man. How'd you have it, Ev?
I had 1, 4, and 5 for TJ.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, obviously it's up to the judges. They're the ones doing the scoring, but Dominick really wasn't able to do much with the majority of the takedowns that he got. TJ was probably on his back for 5 seconds or less.
I agree.
For the majority of those. So I kind of call it a wash. If anything, it's a testament to TJ's ability to scramble out of those situations.
I still think you have to.
I'm a kind of guy that does give points to defensive shit. And if you show me that you have your ability to get out kind of negates his ability to take you down, that's kind of a wash for me. And then the aggressiveness and the octagon control and kind of getting him up, pushing him up.
But what about Dominick's ability to miss shots?
To make TJ miss? Yeah, I mean that's kind of a wash between the two of them too.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously
it's a tough fight to score.
It's a tough fight to score.
Yeah,
it's that first round.
Yeah,
the first and fourth are
TJ.
Me too.
Based entirely off of his aggressiveness.
Yes.
And pushing the pace and octagon control.
It's not a fight like it's not like a Diego Ross Pearson in Albuquerque where you're like, dude, that's when people go, TJ got robbed. I hate when people say that. No one got robbed. That fight is so close. And depends how you judge it. It depends. I can see how you judge it for Dominick. I can see how you judge it for TJ.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna get some crazy scorecards at the end of this fight. At the end of this
I think it's
And it was,
really
they're
hard.
all over the
Yeah,
place.
I feel for the judges in that.
Oh, I
Very
don't.
hard.
I don't.
Every
I
round
don't
is
feel
super
for the
close.
judges.
But I would have.
That's your job. What?
They don't
That's
really
your
want
sole fucking job. You work once every fucking month, if that. I definitely don't
Well,
feel for the judges.
I feel sorry. For,
Educate yourself.
That's why you have to be really educated. You have to really understand the fight game, and it would probably help if the judges.
It'd be like me
had
having a
lot of fun.
podcast on books and then not really reading books.
I agree. Well,
So
no, what
don't
I
feel sorry
What
for
I'm
them.
saying is that that's a hard fight to score. So I feel sorry for any judge who's got to go through it because it's not an easy fight to score. That's what I mean. And more importantly, I really think it would behoove, and I don't know if this is the case, but if judges had fight experience, and I don't know if these did, I think it would make a difference.
One's a boxing guy. What's his name? Cecil Peoples.
Was he one of the judges?
Yep. I think he
And historically,
I think he gave the
terrible
first
judge.
3 rounds to Dominic.
He's a historically terrible judge.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Cecil
always-
Peoples is like kind of a legend for being
Yeah.
so shitty.
He's known as being a
Wow.
shitty
He's
judge.
made a lot of questionable calls.
Tough fight, man. I think a rematch is. It's always tough what the UFC is gonna do. Obviously, Uriah. I don't know if you can give Uriah a title shot right now. I think you go. I think go Uriah TJ. Winner of that fights Dominic.
You don't
Uriah
think,
Uriah TJ is way more interesting to me.
you don't think Dominic gets? I mean, TJ gets an automatic rematch?
Who knows with the UFC? I would like to see him get an automatic rematch.
I think from a promotional standpoint, I think you're right too. Making TJ and Uriah fight for that chance to fight Dominic.
Imagine that build-up.
Regardless, it's a win-win for the UFC because whoever comes out of that, you got a built-in storyline,
Huge storyline.
and you get the storyline on top from just putting TJ and Uriah against each other.
And Uriah and
It's a
Uriah and Dominic's history, it's so old. The present day like Fox followers have no idea, so it's hard to sell that. But you can sell Uriah TJ, train together, know each other, went their separate ways. You have them fight. Winner of that's gonna be huge. Coming off all that press, they fight Dominic. With Dominic's
gives-
foot and knee, it looks like he needs some rest.
Yeah, gives him some time to heal up.